Hello, this is Jason from Twisted Rides. I have acquired today a gumball machine that I picked up from an old mechanic shop. It's certainly got some issues, the back tray is broken, but I've always kind of wanted one of these, just to take one apart, see how they work, just to see what it is that makes it, so that you can only put a quarter in one of these instead of a penny, nickel, or dime. I've already torn apart two of the little turn lock pieces, and I'm going to show you, or I'm going to try to show you actually how to take apart the third one, in case you would like to put one of these in your own home, put bubble gum, candy, whatever it is that you want. Just as more or less like a novelty piece. I'm not trying to show you how to steal candy from a machine. This is, again, only for at-home use only. Alright, first, now this piece I can't really show you because I don't have a key, and when I got it, the lock was already missing, so the very top piece comes off, as you can see. Now just bear with me, I've only got one hand that I'm going to try to do this with. I am recording this on my cell phone. And each one of these compartments actually come off. As you can see, there's a little cog inside there, and that's what turns it. So the little slots for the candy or the gumballs, whichever, they drop down inside there, travel down inside that little tube, and then out the slot in the front. See? Now I'm going to show you. Now with this, I've already taken this one apart, and there's a couple of little components inside that need to come out. And with this one, I've already done that. So as you can see, with no change, I can turn it, and turn it, and turn it, and which turns the piece on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of this apart. Alright, and then this piece comes off, and now we have access to our three little, I don't know what they're actually called, but I'm just going to call them turn locks, and actually I just forgot which ones I did. Okay, it's this one. It needs to be done still. Slides right out of there. Now, as you can see, there's the gear on the back. The little spring-loaded piece here, that can actually stay. That's what gives it that little clicking sound and kind of actually makes it a little bit harder to turn. But it's this black piece over here. Now that screw you need to take out. In fact, you're going to take all these screws out. All you need to do this is a Phillips head and just a little pry bar. I'm using a washer because I'm kind of too lazy to get up and actually find the part I need. As you can see, this comes out. This little black piece is just a spring. This actually pushes down on this little piece here. Now this piece is only one part of what keeps the little gear from turning when you put the coin in there. Now the point is you need to use a quarter because it is just the right thickness to push this spring back. Now there's another part on the inside, on the back side of this, that is for the size of the quarter, the diameter. Now when you turn that, we'll see if we can see this. Let me try to zoom in. Now when you turn this, hopefully you can see it. There's a little piece that comes by. Now right there, the quarter should actually be inside there. So the little space there, the quarter will be down inside that slot. Now once you get to that slot, there's a little piece that drops down and locks right there. So without the coin, you can't push that piece up and out of the way. So the coin needs to fill that gap to push that part up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these three screws up. Well, four. There's one here. Let me zoom out. Sorry folks, this is kind of hard to do. Only one hand here. Already did the other two, but My screw is fighting with me. Alright, I'm actually going to pause this so I can take this apart for you, and then, or at least get the screws out, and then I'll start recording again. Okay, so I am back. I now have the 3 screws out, as well as this one. I already loosened it up, so all I had to do is take it out. As you can see, that's the long one. And you've got 3 different sizes here. You have this long one, which actually goes to this middle gear. You have this one, which has got a bigger head, shorter. As you can see, it's got kind of a built-in lock washer design. This is the one that goes right here. Okay? Now try to keep track of your screws. You've got 2 of these smaller ones. Smaller heads, same thing, little lock washer design on the back. That's the one that's going to go here and down here. Now, once you take that middle screw out of this piece just comes off. When you put it back on, don't worry about which position it needs to be. It fits on, 4 different ways, so it's just square. So you can set that off to the side. What you will need also is a type of pick, something like this little thing I have here. Now you're going to move this spring and pull it up here out of the way, so you can actually remove this cog. I'm going to try to do that right now. Now there is quite a bit of tension on here, so be careful, don't smash your finger. And again, it's better to have 2 hands to do this. There we go. It's up out of the way. Now once you take this screw out here, this little handle on the front will just slide right out. So you can see that there's a couple little pins, and it only fits in one way. So there's no confusion as to how to put it back together. And now this piece just spins freely. And that pops out. Alright. All you're going to have to do to get this piece off here is lift up a little bit on this bar. The spring will pop up out of the way, which I've already done. Now, this piece here comes up out of the way. Once you get that out there, you can get your little washer, little pry bar. This is what I've got here as a washer. Now I'm going to pick the thickest end here because this metal is actually pretty old and pretty brittle. So I'm going to go right here at the corners because it is kind of pressed on just a little bit. And all you got to do is just kind of pry it just enough. Try not to break it, because if you break it, then that kind of sucks. It won't go back together. Alright, now this whole piece here comes off. Leave that in there because you don't want to pop the spring. Now, as you can see on the inside, that is the secondary lock. This is the piece that determines the diameter of the coin. And in fact, if I have, see if I can grab a quarter real quick and I'll show you exactly how that works. I have a quarter? Yes, 1/4. Alright, now from the inside view, you can see this is where you drop the quarter in, and it fits inside these slots up to there. And I need my turnkey. I'll slide this back in here so you can, oops, my thing just popped out. Sorry about that. It's not what I wanted to happen. Again, this is better when you have 2 hands. Alright, well, that's out of the way. Well, anyways, once you turn this quarter, it gets to this point, and it pushes up on this piece. It pushes it up out of the way, so that other tab that's hanging down doesn't catch right here on the edge. So without the quarter, that's what stops it. Keeps you from being able to turn it. So when you stick that in there, lift up on the main lock, and then the secondary, and allows you to turn it all the way around and the quarter drops down through here and down the slot, or in my case, between my legs. Alright, well, now that we have this little piece here out of the way, I can put it back together. So for a coinless bubblegum machine, we do not need that. We will put this back together like so. Also, the little spring in there doesn't go back in as well. You leave that out. This only fits on one way. I'll just lever that up, push it down, and I'll make sure that this is on the outside of that. And now that that's not going to be coming off, you can actually pull your little tool out of here, like so. Now, you still have tension on your spring there. We'll put our little cog back on with the long screw. Me, I prefer to get the screws started by hand, therefore I don't cross thread them. It sucks. If you cross thread them, get them in too far, then you have to break out a tap and die set, new screws, all that kind of stuff. And this, preferably, I'd much like to be a project that's free. I did just happen to pick this up off the side of the road, so the machine didn't cost me anything. Somebody was throwing it away. And, okay, other screws. This is the big fat head. Goes right here to lock down this side where the tension spring is. Just tighten that down. It doesn't have to be like Superman tight or anything, just nice and snug. Oh, my battery in my phone is going dead. Hopefully I can have this back together really quick so I can show you that it works before my phone goes dead. Now, my last screw. Actually, I'm going to put in my fourth screw. Even though I'm not putting in this piece, I'm going to go ahead and put my screw in here just in case, let's say down the road, I want to actually maybe make some money off of my buddies. They decide that they want all my candy, they're going to have to actually put a quarter in there to get some candy. So, I'll go ahead and save that screw right there. And all these little parts I've got here, I'm going to put in a little Ziploc bag for later. Now that all this is together, we will set it back into the machine. As you can see on this, there is a groove here and a groove on this side. You'll make sure on your machine, this is all plastic. Just be careful not to break it, and make sure that that plastic edge slips into the slots. There you go. There, and slide her on down like that. Now the top edge needs to be flush, as you can see. Now I'm going to turn this. You can see that she turns all the way around. And now that I've done that, and I've already done this one, and I've done that one, I now have a coinless bubblegum machine. All I have to do is put my components back on. Right. And with this piece, it actually tells you which way is up and front, which is pretty nice. If you get one that doesn't tell you that, just get a Sharpie or something and mark, where everything went and which piece was facing what. It's pretty easy. Now these, just kind of wiggle them around, and when you get these set in there, go ahead and give that a nice little turn and make sure it turns just the way it's supposed to, like so. As well as this one. We're in good shape. Now with this one, you have the rod, which technically is supposed to lock all that down. Let's see if I can get this with one hand. Yes, we're good. place. And she turns. I'm so excited. Now, I need to hit up Sam's or Costco or maybe even Walmart and just buy a big old bag of candy to dump in here. 3 different bags, actually. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this little machine. There we have it. One coinless bubblegum machine. I'm gonna sand it down and paint it to make it look better. And as you can see, I've got rust on the bottom of the base. Maybe tighten up a few screws, and my back tray there is actually broken. So if I do put any coins on it, they'll probably just fall out. I'm gonna use this, to have some fun with the kids. If they want bubble gum, I'll just make them think that, oh, you have to put a quarter in there. In all reality, you just turn the handle, but it'll help them save money and get some candy. Thank you for watching.